Alright, let's review systems three ways. So graphing, elimination, and substitution. So my first one right here is a graphing one, and they are in slope-intercept form. That helps us out. So what we need to do is we need to start with our y-intercept of our first one here, so positive 3. Then it says our slope is negative 1/4, so down 1 over 4. I'm also going to do the complete opposite of that just to have a nice full line there. Alright, now next one starts at negative 4, so way down here. And then it says go down 2 over 1. I cannot go down 2 over 1. I'm out of space, so let's go the complete opposite. Up 2 backwards 1, up 2 backwards 1, up 2 backwards 1, up 2 backwards 1. So you'll notice that they'll intersect, and where they intersect is what you've been looking for. Just make sure you don't mess up this coordinate. It's x and then y. It goes alphabetically. So negative 4, 4 is your solution there. You can check any solution by plugging back into these and making sure that when you plug in the x and you add 3 here and you subtract 4 here, that you get out that y value. So you've got another one over here. Just remember that you've got a plus 0 here, and that is a box because it just has an x in it. I'm going to move on to elimination down here. So elimination, you can notice it because x's are lined up against x's, y's are up against y's, and then you've got a number over a number. So the important thing here is that you need the same coefficient but positive and negative, and you can go any way you want. I've got a 1 right here, and that one's easy to turn into anything else. So I'm going to try to turn that 1 into a 5 that would cancel out this negative 5 right here. So when I do that, I distribute out that 5 to everything. So I've got 5x, negative 15y, and then 29 times 5. If you need to, go to your calculator real quick. 29 times 5 is 145. I do not need to do anything with my second one other than rewrite it below my first one. And now I get to add these together. That's why it's elimination, because the first thing that happens is our positive and our negative cancel out. I have negative 15 plus negative 8y, so how many y's do I have? And that's negative 23y's. And then I've got 145 plus 16, so that is 161, I believe. 51, 61, perfect. Last step, just divide by our negative 23, and we will have the value for y. So y is going to be 161 divided by negative 23. And we get out negative 7. So that's half your answer. Remember though, we're looking for this coordinate like we found above, and we found the second part of it. So at this point you could eliminate some answers, but we really do need to go and find x, which is easy. Pick one of your favorites here. I'm going to pick the top one, the x minus the 3y, and I'm going to plug in what I just found for y in for this y right here, so negative 7. So what I have is x, negative and a negative make a positive, and 3 times 7 make 21, equals 29. Subtract away your 21, and you've got x equals 8. So your final answer there is 8, negative 7. You've got a word problem over here to practice. Don't let it fool you. Just read it and write 2 equations. So I'll do the first one for you. Kristen spent $140, so that's what it's going to be equal to. That's a total on 11 daylilies, so 11D plus 4 bunches of ornamental grass. So we'll say G there for grass. So I did the first sentence for you. You can make an equivalent one for the bottom one and then just solve the system like we did over there. Now let's do a substitution one. So substitution needs to be solved for something. Like for this one you see x is equal to a phrase there, and over here you've got y is equal to something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what x is equal to and plug it into the other equation for x. So remember, this all goes together, so make sure you put some parentheses there. So 3, replace your x with some parentheses, say minus y equals 15. Now let's plug that right into its spot, 2y plus 3. Alright, now it's an equation that we can solve in just a few steps. So you distribute your 3, that's 6y plus 9. Now we just need to combine some like terms here, so 5y plus 9. That was 6 minus 1, so 5y. Now two-step equation it, so minus 9 from each side. So 5y is going to be equal to, we are at, where are we at there, 6, and then divide by 5. So we got a decimal for this one, so maybe we should go back and check our work real quick, make sure we didn't mess anything up. But it looks fine. I guess this one was just a decimal answer. Alright, so we've got 6/5, that is y equals 1.2 when you do the quick math there. Now you can find your x pretty quickly by plugging it in to the one that would give you x. So we need to say, right here, we need to say 2 times the y value we just found plus 3. So let's just go to our calculator real quick to get that all done. 2 times the y value plus 3. So our x value is 5.4. So x was 5.4, y was 1.2. Final answer, coordinate 5.4 and 1.2. That'd be a great one to use substitution on because you couldn't really graph that one and tell exactly where it was hitting. For number 65, just want to point you in the right direction. You've got what y equals, so this one, make sure you plug into y in the second one instead of x.